right, welcome back to the DreamHack Opens featuring Fortnite here, where $250,000 is on the line here for the competitors. We are very much into the thick of the competition here, as Monster D-Face and Fallout bringing all the action here for the EU division. And what's on your screen right now is a couple highlights for me and my boy Fallout. Been casting it up. Fallout, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm absolutely loving this. Every single second of it, brother. I feel like we're vibing out really well. I feel like the hype and the energy is there. The gameplay is certainly follow. That's the most important thing. This is all about the players, not about us by any means. We got to make sure to tell these stories appropriately, and they're making it easy for us. They're making it interesting. We got a crazy, crazy finish here. 2 more games to close things out. Teak finally tops Mr. Savage for the first time in 5 games. Mr. Savage loses his lead, but only by 2 points. It's crazy how things have shaken up here.
That's right. The EU division always making it so close. Definitely is another run for the ages here, as we're getting a neck-and-neck competition for the throne here. CRR, though, is going to be one of the perspectives on our screen, as is ADN. CRR's landing at Salty right now.
Yeah, interesting drop for CRR. As a controller player, you want to try and land in, building heavy locations, close corridors. So he's going to try and take advantage of that. He has a 1v1 opportunity with Kirby below. We'll see if he ends up taking it, but that's going to be help him. Chug splashes are going to help him get right into the fight.
Kind of interesting there. He goes for the firing at the building. You can see that's going to attract a little bit of attention. And he just passes the enemy that was down below. And yes, he is going to be able to manage to connect here. And it's going to be a nice little reward for him. A charged shotgun and a fresh AR to follow up with. Right, his way back around. I saw a KS1 light here. Who else is in the point of interest? It's Diox, who's off in the distance. All of which are pretty much trailing behind on the leaderboards. I think Light's doing pretty okay. He's like almost near top 20, but he's not quite there just yet.
Yeah, that's exactly right. CRR, I'm not sure where he's currently standing as well. We'll try and get that update if we can, as we're currently on board with the controller player. Looting up over in Salty against Diox, as you mentioned, of Select Esports. Currently going over towards Blue House. I missed the basement in Blue House, by the way. I don't know about you. That's just me, but it was a fun fight.
Yeah, everything being all flooded out kind of took away the feel of the game. And then, of course, the map changes that always happen. That was one of the ones that occurred here in Salty. But Sarah is going to find himself a nice little connection here. That's going to be a free pick for him as we hop on over to a story that's a little more relevant to the case here. It's Noah in the battle for Caddy's Corner. Shockwave launcher is going to come out as we see that Kiko is the one that's rotating in nice and late. We knew that this was a thing, though. We've seen this, especially at the start, somewhere around game 2 or so. And a beautiful highlights from Kiko, who made it into the reel with the hunting rifle shot to kick off the comp.
That was nice. That was very nice. Kiko with a... yeah, you're right. He started off the montage. Honestly, with first off, the music we've been rating, some of the beat drops I've heard, plus the clips, we can put together a nasty DreamHack montage as a result of all the plays that these players are making. Hopefully one day that'll happen. I'm excited. All I know is I want either the song with the Kendrick vibes, according to Shio, or I want like the EDM bass drop song. Either way, hopefully we can make that happen.
We'll see. Talk to the crew. I know you got the connect back there, so make it happen.
That's exactly right. It'll be a montage for the ages. There's been so many, just all jokes aside, there's been so many plays made from these players. I mean, headshots, beautiful flicks. It has been impressive to see the level of skill on display here. And my favorite part has been any of the hunting rifle or sniper shots, one-shot headshot. As tough it is for the receiving player to be completely out, no chance. It looks like Milwaukee is going to troll with ADN saying, I see you. Don't try and sneak up on me, brother. Here comes the fight.
I was going to say, this is a pretty interesting fight. Are you talking 2 players that are in the same bracket of points here? So very much on par performance-wise with one another. Couldn't ask for a more fair fight. This is your middle-of-the-pack competitors. See how things are going to favor up for them. Whoever catches the Elim will take the lead over one another. Let's see now. The crash pad's going to come in and initiate thing. It's going to be a straight-out gun brawl there, and ADN's going to be the one who comes out on top. Waka gets taken out.
That's exactly right. Nice play from ADN. He says, hey, stop dancing. All right, brother. Gets an easy pick. And now ADN in a pretty good spot here. 2 more people lingering around, as now we're going to jump back over to Kiku from Portugal up against Noah. Looks like he'll just be backing out, resetting. Looks like he has a sniper, so might have a chance there, as Noah now is just going to be content looting up over towards the caddy corner side of the map. And guess what? He also has the charged shotgun And Kit's shockwave launcher in a great spot, great position is Noah here to try and make some noise.
This is pretty massive. If you really think about what this means for the competition. A player like Noah, who's knocking on the door of top 20, the shockwave launcher can essentially guarantee himself a free endgame so long as it doesn't switch hands. ADN, though, on the other hand, here is looking to hop in on Flick. Flick's going to back up, possibly even pop this chili. Yeah, he's like, all right, dude, I know you can get in my box. Let me go and perk up here so he can move really fast now. Do a lot with this here. Yeah, there it is.
Wise rotations,
ADN.
wise play from Flick. You just want to turn that corner. That's going to give him a chance to at least hopefully make some momentum shifts. He has the movement advantage, but he is an assault rifle chasing. It's ADN. He wants to see him. He knows he's behind, so you can expect this now. It's game 9 and 10. These players are behind, like ADN, and they want to make a run for top 10. They're going to have to get some elims. It's a highly elim opportunity with 5 points per elim. So we'll see what ADN does here in the 1v1 against Flick, but I think he's going to keep chasing.
Player hasn't been doing too hot. Is Steelix, who's now on the outskirts, looking to third party this fight here. Flick, on the other hand, is the one who's in the pinch. He's in between the two players. I think ADN recognizes that. Yes, he's going to go for the full-on box fight and dive. Now jumping in. And Steelix is just going to let him. He's not even going to really get into it. Kind of admirable of Steelix, not kind of hop in when he could. ADN's going to find another free elim here, though. Distraction a little too much for Flick.
It's surprising for Steelix. You know, you're behind. I think it's an opportunity to third party to maybe even end up with 2 elims. You got to play aggressive, so I'm not sure if that's the wisest decision, but ADN off to a good start here. Flick in 40th place. He gets taken out. Unfortunate for him, and ADN's going to make sure everyone in the chat right now knows he's moving, he's grooving, he's feeling himself. Good start for ADN.
Yeah, the thing about it, Steelix started this competition off on a really bad footing. I think it was about 3 games in before he finally broke about 12 points. I remember it clearly because I was so surprised, being that he had a relatively strong kind of opener, I believe, yesterday. So here's another person who we're kind of shocked at fall short of the mark. It's Mongrel, who is now this time the king of the authority. He does have all the good loot that he needs. The big problem for him seems to be crumbling under the fights in the mid game, the pressure weighing on his shoulders. It's no surprise that Mongrel does fight with this demon here time and time again when it comes down to grand finals days, but phenomenal player nonetheless, deserving of all the love that he gets from the community. Let's see, though. He's hopping back towards Hardfind, who's back at the authority. Let's see if we get a piece of the action.
I think that's smart. He recognizes, hey, I have great loot in Jules' glider gun and Jules' drum gun. You want to try and take the fights here and clean up the scraps because you do have a great close range weaponry, and you're a little bit behind as well if you're Mongrel, so you need some elims. Looks like he's also going to find himself some vault action. So here we go. Mongrel going to drop the drum gun, though, which is a bit surprising. I don't think he recognizes that Hardfind is there.
No, he definitely doesn't know that. You notice what he did there is he stashed the vault key card, played his kind of surrounding area, did what he had to do, and then came back for it. Now looking to play into the vault. Hardfind, though, knows better that, hey, if you got the vault key, you're going to come back for it. And Karma is the one who's going to eat the shot here from Chapix. Chapix looking to, again, step his way up here. He's doing that. Finding the elim right now. 3 elims so far in this game. That's pretty massive for Chapix.
Good start. In 53rd place, the Swede. One quick update, important update. We keep talking on this theme of the 5 Titans. I honestly would throw 7 players, maybe even 8. Benji Fishy, Medine included, it make that 9. Kind of in the running here, 2 straight behind him. But one of our top 10 players, I'm trying to say, Sebi, gets taken out. 3rd place with 245 points going into this game. He got eliminated almost immediately off the rip. So Sebi out of this one. That's going to open up a chance for maybe Kami, maybe a Nas, maybe even Benji to break their way into top 3 if it's a good game.
Yeah, we saw Benji is right now in the running, which is surprising to see how much of a gap close he managed to put up here. Savage has got to be kind of nervous, though, because Teak and Savage are so close in points right now. Here's Reason, who hasn't been able to really step up. But like I said at the start of this whole thing, just based off of the homework we've done on Reason, he does take these fights every time here in Holly. He's just going to battle it out to the end. And no scope from Rimic. The jumping no scope. Ooh, and the BM, yes. Got to give it where it's due right there. Rimic probably has been losing this fight here. Only 56 points. Is now going to put the dance moves on Reason.
You got to be kidding me. Rimic with a no-scope close range for Reason.
And a headshot.
But great play and a headshot at that. He needed it too. He was at the complete disadvantage on the back foot. That was his one chance, his one opportunity. He took it and he hit. Like Wayne Gretzky says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Right there, Rimick connecting for that one.
A little bit of highlighting your corner. A couple more frags that are popping off around the feed there. Rimick, though, getting his little shine or opportunity in the light. I said this before. It's unfortunate that the one time we see Reason in full on the camera here is the time he's on the receiving end. Especially, he's one of the more hyped players we were looking at coming into this. I mean, there's still 2 more games in front of him. Actually, 1 now, right? We're on game 7. Actually, now that I think about it.
I think it's game 8. What was it? I'm sorry.
No, this is game 7. This is game 7.
Oh,
We're blurring the lines here.
That means we have 4 games left? All right. I thought it was only 2 games left. All right, I'm losing my mind here. A lot of Fortnite, and they're all starting to blend together here in the 8 game series. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. I'm losing my mind. It is game 7. Good call out. I, for some reason, thought there was 10 games. I'm used to our format from yesterday and the day before, so I was thinking there's 2 games left. It must be game 9, but it is game 7. I'm mixing up my 2 here. And Dreda on screen right now of Misfits with a decent loadout to his name. He's got a purple burst. At least what we're seeing on screen is a purple sniper, blue tack shotgun, some peppers for rotations, and some heals, as well as a launch pad. So I'm liking his kit, liking his loadout right now as it currently stands.
Can I just say, someone in chat said this might be game 1. You can tell he's having a good time if he's trying to extend this entire series by another 8. I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment, man.
Exactly. We should just try and convince production that it's game 1 so we can just keep going. I don't want this to end, man. It's been fun to watch. That's for sure.
All right, though. Yeah, and Dreda's doing really good in this competition. Like I said before, he hasn't quite been there in recent times in the team-based game modes and whatnot. But when it comes down to the solo stuff, I mean, it's the reason he qualified for the World Cup way back when. Although disappointing performance, is one of the more exciting players to look going into it. One of the young gods on the scene. I mean, lately he's been stepping back up as a solo. So really nice to see him. I mean, 147. He's just near top 20. That's still very, very impressive. I think he's looking good for the competitions to come and the future to come.
Yeah, what we're going to see here for the first time is a southwest finish, which means, yeah, that's the entire area that is underwater right now. So that's why you see so many people, or sorry, an area that's over water. So that's why you see so many people over that one piece of landmass with the boat by itself, trying to use that piece of land where they can. But it's going to be a pretty nautical type of finish here to close this one out.
That was kind of scary, and Dreda looking up with that sniper rifle towards Teeth there. Another player I see on the feed is R. Omega Lotori there, sitting next to Janice in lights. A couple more Slayers nearby. It's getting closer and closer. Another west. Okay, so our first actual full-on west zone. The previous zone was northwest. Yeah, the previous zone was northwest, and we saw a clash of different names, none of which we saw before. And now we're seeing Benji shine again, and this is again a factor due to that zone's going west. Before it's going east, and it seems like he was kind of struggling, just kind of being relevant with the way things are working out for him. But right now he's approaching mid game. He's looking very, very strong here. His loot is all sorted. He's got the harpoon to take in, and he's got the max mats right now. So I'm kind of feeling optimistic for Benji right now.
I'm feeling okay. If he could use some better loot, and Mats are in a good situation, I think his loadout could be slightly better. So maybe he'll look to try and take a fight if he can. But harpoon gun's good, obviously, in this scenario. So that actually might work out well for him. I agree with you. It's a pretty good situation for him. But it looks like Sneezy's right behind him. Benji's just hard rotating on the swim. We heard Odescard yesterday say how much he loves the swim as a rotation because it's really kind of a more free rotation. It's harder to get hit. Benji, though, going to get tagged up for all of his shield there. And there goes his slurpfish.
That is true. If you time it just right, you do get to get a lot of value out of these rotates. You can see right here that positioning allows him to really play to his benefit here. Okay, building out of metal, though, he's already based up twice now, and this time he is going to be the focus of another player. Remember, his base is just barely on a metal plank. It could be easily taken out. All right, extends out sideways. This is the Benji special, the 2x1 left and rights here. He knows better to sit in just a one kind of base when he's getting focused up.
And the reason for that is you want to look bigger, all right? And you want to also make it think that you can't just get spammed in a 1x1. Whereas if you're in a 1x1, people hit 2 angles, 2 walls, you're in a pretty rough spot. If there's if you're in a 2x1, however, people don't know which box you're in, and it's a waste of time, waste of ammo for them to try and kind of narrow you down. So that's exactly why you're seeing Benji go for the 2x1 special, if you will, in a good situation right now.
Pretty clutch harpoon pull there as well. He's going to find himself a little bit of a heals. I mean, not that bandages are going to be too important, but something's better than nothing here. It's got to be a little bit of a confidence booster, right? Knowing that you're filling out your inventory, getting usage out of the harpoon here. Janus, though, is in a tight situation. If he doesn't have shield on right now, he has been sitting here for quite some time. So it's good to know that Janus is basically in shambles this game. Not sure what happened on his rotate out of Steamy. Player that we're keeping a close eye on is Andretta, who's on the bubble of top 20. Remember, we talk about breaking into top 30 and onwards is where the money really starts to kick up in forms of prizing. But don't forget, everyone is a winner today. Everyone is at least taking home some cash prize for making it this far.
$300 at least. Yep. But one band, $1,000, going to be picked up if you get top 30. So that's a good situation to be in that top 30 spot. But of course, first place, 16,000, second, 8,000. Big difference between first and second. We'll keep an eye on that. Nice snipe going to come through from Andretta, Norwegian, as he's not going to connect for the limb. I don't think. Yes, he is. Oh my goodness.
Is that onto Rax? Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Massive play. The quick snipe AR uses the snipe to break the builds, and next thing you know, connects for an limb. That's huge on Andretta. Unfortunate for Rax. Oh my gosh, he's not done yet. A double kill picked up from Andretta. What a play. Back-to-back elims for Andretta. Huge, huge use of that sniper rifle.
That was massive right there. As he's going to find himself 10 more points. And like I said, even taking out Rax, who's in top 15, is huge for him because you're putting a stop on your competition, quite literally. And you're forcing yourself up the food chain, making it closer and closer to break into top 10. So those are some massive trades and exchanges there. Chapix, who was having a great game. Remember, he had like 3 elims. It's going to be shut out there. So no luck for Chapix. His little replay of the snipe is so far, too, from downrange. To give you guys a little idea of how crazy the shot was. Benji Fishy looking for the box fight right now. Here's Mongrel, is going to find himself a little piece. Okay, so Mongrel finally turning up. 2 elims this game right now. Pretty good.
Yeah, I like the character choice for Mongrel as well. You know, very, very reflective of our finish here. Nautical finish. Benji and Mongrel both finding themselves some action. Box fight for Benji if he decides to take it. But he decides to, decides to violate the territory of his Yaster, I think, on the left of him, as he's going to set up his boxes one by one right next to him. Mongrel still has to make a rotation.
Mongrel getting closer and closer to the next safety here. He's in between Tomsy and Benji, though. You can see Benji's just on the other side here. So Mongrel's got a few big players to run through, as well as Teak, who's sitting up on height.
There it is.
Basically see out straight directly towards Mongrel. That's his line of sight opener. Bad Sniper's going to be the one who's under fire right now, though. As you can see, Teak and crew is starting to spam inwards. That could have easily been Mongrel if he was out positioned, but Mongrel hugging on the back portion of the zone is not going to be focused, not just yet, as everyone's looking at Bad Sniper's fresh builds kicking in here. Mongrel does have that grappler, though, so he should be A-okay to rotate out. We'll see, though.
Jonas getting taken out. And keep in mind, Teak is still alive. We see him on screen. We're going to try and get eyes on Mr. Savage, Kami, and Anas to round out our top 5. But for now, Benji Fishy still knocking on the door of top 5. He was knocking on the door of top 20, got there. Knocking on the door of top 10, got there. Next step, top 5. Next milestone, first place for him. He wants it.
That's right. I want to see if Marine's still in the game, or Marine. I do need to see if Marine's still in the game. We want to see if Mr. Savage is still alive as well. That's a name that we haven't seen just yet. A few others that are in contestant still. I believe Anas we have to get a little update on him. I see Decepto still popping off. Remember, Decepto's in like 8th place. So the fact that Deceptos is casting some mid-game frags is absolutely huge. But Benji's going to be dived in on by Tomsy. Tomsy's one of his direct competitors. He is just underneath as far as the total placement points. So these guys are neck and neck on the scoreboard. These are all big names in the comp right here.
United Kingdom no longer united as we got the
back up. Oh my gosh. Benji gets turned on and burned by Tomsy. And now, although he had the frag, he had the sneak up on him, and Tomsy gets taken out. What was it worth for nothing? Squeezier here, who is also in top 20. Oh, man, the changing and exchanging of hands here.
Absolutely heartbreaking right there if you're a Benji fan as he gets taken out. Squeezier in 16th place, so that's going to be good for him netting in the limb. 53 players remain in this one. Sad to see Benji go, but we still got quite a few heavy hitters alive. And Andretta, we've seen his performance consistently. Got to see a nice overhead view and angle of a few other players that are in this one. Teak is one of the most notable. Then Noof also alive. and Nikov knocking on the door top 20.
Closer and closer as we coming in now. Here comes the half in, half out zone. Players are going to have to start making the move. Looks like it is going to favor the portion where most of the players are hiding out. And a big reason for it is because it's one of the only land masses. So it's more likely for players to start favoring the land masses here. Names that I do see here, though, Toos. I do see Marine. I do still see Deceptos alive up in the high ground here. I do question, where is Teak, though? Is Teak still alive here in the game?
I've not seen him get eliminated yet. So I would think yes, as we are on board of Riaster and Medine at the bottom right. So picture in picture here, Medine. Yeah, of course, keep in mind, Medine is the one that we had win our last game. He snuck his way into top 10. Medine, former DreamHack Winter featuring Fortnite champion in the Bring Your Own Computer event back in 2019. Teak, Anas, Savage, all still alive, thanks to the chat and Kelly here. Big shout out to every single one of y'all helping us keep this narration, keep this story alive here. It's going to be crazy. 2 games remain. This is game 7 out of game 8 on board with Medine and Riaster. Kami still in this one as well for one of our top 2.
That is right. So this section over here is looking super stacked up, and everyone's going to have to make a cut across towards it because this is where the zone's going. So it looks like Kami's going to get zone favor. It's going to play a huge in his favor right now to continue to save material. Remember, he's given also, he's in running for taking first place here. Mr. Savage, though, forced a crash pad across the field. You can see on the left camera, he's on the outermost skirts. He's going to land right onto Haijo, and he's taking the box fight. This is huge for Mr. Savage. He needs this elim right now. Third parters are coming in, though, because I'm trying to cover this over the air perspective. Not sure how it's going to play out, but Savage is going to find it. Check out the feed right there. So still in the running right now, finding points, making his way, inching his way towards endgame. Hard find those, the player on camera now, as you are seeing Raija as well, all of which are having to make this tough rotate. The big focus, though, Rain, who's on height.
Yeah, 4 of our top 5, I believe, still alive in this one. Yes, Teak is on screen right now. 4 of our top 5 players. It's crazy to believe as we're currently on board with Riaster and Heartline, but we want to keep an eye on the top left of your screen for our top 5 players because that's going to be key. Will Mr. Savage get eliminated earlier? Will he continue his dominance in this tournament so far? And Dreda gets taken out by the hands of Jordberry.
That's right. What we need right now is to get those perspectives of our top 5 players because this is getting closer and closer. We need to see how it's all going to unfold for them. Anas finding someone in the feed and then getting taken out by the storm. So there goes Anas. There goes his run. One more game left in the bucket for him. See how he's going to be able to play out. I see Raija here putting some pressure on Teak and Kami, both of which are, again, in tight situations. Teak does not have any more shields left moving into this. And looking at Marine's perspective, he's starting to rack up now and heat up because he's approaching top 20. Decepto's going to find Rotary right there. Not too bad for him. And as I'm seeing, again, hopping back in with Marine now. Looking for this frag here. There's 2 players in the bush. He's going to find one with the dive on and just jumps right over the other. 5 more points in the pit here for Marine now. Onto Clavin.
And
sitting in the cone. No more mats.
Massive pickup from Medine. 2 games in a row. Can he do it? The back-to-back victory royales. Teak, however, is still alive. He's going to have to get through the big boss. The first place player right now is Teak, who's gotten an elim as well. Guess what? Medine's going to find him. Teak versus Medine in a 1v1. Medine wants the elim. Teak is in a world of hurt right now and is barely surviving. And guess who's knocking on his door? It's Medine who wants the first place. Medine connects for another elim onto Crypticiptos. That's huge. Another top 10 player. Medine and Teak still neck and neck. Still box by box. But Teak is going to connect for an elim. Can you believe it?
He's still alive. They're exchanging. Marine's on fire right now. Oh my gosh, Moran is literally finding frags left and right. He is so close to top 5 now. 266 points for him. Top 10 is up in the air. Cammy's still in this game as well. So he's still getting big points here, as is Teak. It is so neck and neck right now. It can go any which way. Someone has to fall in order for the lead to continue to break out. Cammy looks like he's finally going to be able to heal now. And it's still right in the game. Noah's on height too.
Again, Noah, the second game in a row with height. This is almost nostalgia from our last game. Medine's still alive. Noah's still alive. Medine's going to connect for another. That's going to be a huge elim on Kami, his fellow compadre in the top 5. And guess what? Teak right below him as he's healing up. Teak opts to not break his builds. He's going to let him heal. 4 players remain in this one. It's Riaster, it's Noah, it's Medine, and Teak.
Teak wants this, though. He's looking at him right through the floor. No more builds. It's time to commit. Teak's going to get tagged once from the zone by Raija. No, Marine jumps in, and Marine's going to be able to find it here onto Teak. And now 5 eliminations, 286 points for him. This is so massive before Noah closes out the game with the Shockwave loot.
Once again, we have Noah and Marine in our top 2. This time, Noah gets his revenge with a victory royale. More right after this.
Hey everyone, Kelly Link here, and I'm your host for the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. And of course, you guys listen to a lot of our favorite DreamHack music while it's going on, so I'm going to be rating a few of those songs. What is this? Is this some, like, YouTube royalty-free music? That was very short. I don't know. I felt like I was in the intro of a sitcom, so I'm gonna give it 2 out of 5 full houses. All right. This sounds like an anime intro, and I'm all about anime intros. Oh, okay, it's done. I was about to get even more hype. I'm gonna give it, 9 out of 10 Narutos. I'm walking alone. This is your door. Cool. I'm going home. Am I in an episode of True Blood right now? What's happening? I'm looking going home. I'm looking alone. This is your door. I'm looking alone. Okay, I'm kind of confused of what that song was or what genre it would fall under. I kind of just imagine myself wearing a cowboy hat and looking out my window on a rainy day in my truck. But I'm going to give that 16 out of 20 question marks. It was pretty good. Ooh. So that's going to probably be my winner for all the songs. That's definitely a 10 out of 10 grooves right there, man. Well, I guess you guys now know what I think of the songs that you hear on DreamHack Open, but let us know which song was your favorite, of course. And don't worry, we'll be getting right back into the Fortnite action very soon. Welcome back, everyone, to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. We're almost done with the grand finals for Europe for our first week. It's our kickoff week, everyone, and a lot is on the line. Not just bragging rights, but a $250,000 prize pool split between the 3 regions is up for grabs. Like I said, everyone, we are now down to the final game. And if it's anything like that last game, it really is anyone's game. Teak, Mr. Savage, Sebi, and now we have Marine coming up there. I mean, Monster, run me through that game.
Man, what a phenomenal last game 7, because we had 9 of the top 10 alive, approaching into top 20 for Mr. Savage down to Deceptos. And then obviously it was a close running. Players that bully their way up into it was Marine. His story has been phenomenal. Off to a slow start, really picking things up. We've been following him and tracking him. Players like Benji, who were just there, that could have been him too, get taken out of the competition. So it was crazy though. I don't know who to root for right now. I see the chat's going wild for Teak, Savage. You have Marine. Like this is so close. So many people to root for here, Fallout.
And how can you not root for Teak? The come-up story for him, the fact that he barely snuck his way into this competition with the last place possible, with literally at that stage of the tournament, 1 point separates you from 250 and 251, and Heat won when he qualified early on Friday. So it's been a great trajectory and story for him. What a comeback! What a performance! He's been consistently placing top 5. You were talking about this in the break when we were chatting. If anyone questions consistency in any battle royale, Fortnite has to be one of the most consistent. You really have to be a top player to be able to make it to the late game. And we're seeing the same exact thing 2 games in a row. Noah and Medine in our last final 2. This time Noah gets the win, but Medine is also another huge playmaker.
Yeah, that ending right there, I know that I want to take a look at the highlights because the last 20 players all over in that water fight that was going on is absolutely absurd.
Just look at a few of the kind of catch-up here moments from game number 7. From the beginning towards the end, we'll be able to kind of see everything that unfolded. A few replays to keep you guys all in tune, but like we said, the real story here is how the top 10 all unfolded, how it all played out, which was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we saw Cammy up there. I forgot to mention him. A Nos being somewhere in the conversation as a talking point too. The only player that was taken out early that game was Sebi, which is pretty unfortunate because Sebi was doing pretty hot. He had a hot streak. So for game 8, I mean, it's a matter of, I think first might be out of the reach. Maybe you would have to have everybody in the top 10 like fall out for you to come up and climb at this point. But hey, big money on the line still to climb your way up.
Yeah, let's actually take a look at the scoreboard just to see what this final game entails and what these players have to accomplish to be able to steal that first place from Teak. And it's now a reverse story of what we saw from Mr. Savage and Teak, where now Teak is ahead 58 points. That's going to be insane. He's not going to be able to place.
I mean, Fallout, take the floor on this one. Go ahead. Tell me what you think.
I completely agree. I mean, Savage started so incredibly strong, was dominating. We were calling him the GOAT. I mean, and he's still playing very, very good. Teak's just playing better at this point into the late game. So, yeah, it is honestly, in my eyes, a 4-way race, maybe a 5-way race, actually, with Stacey kind of in the mix here. Just stepped us right behind it. They have to have an insane pop-off type of game. They have to get maybe some fortune with Teak and Mr. Savage getting taken out early. But just with how Teak and Mr. Savage are playing, so consistent throughout the entirety, all 8 games or 7 games we've seen so far, I have a hard time thinking it's going to be anyone but Teak and Mr. Savage. I think it's going to be a 2-man race for the final.
Even after Marine did really well at the end of those 2 games right there? You don't think he has an opportunity?
I think he does. I think Ryan has an opportunity. He has a chance. It's just Teak and Mr. Savage are playing on a level of their own. But don't get me wrong. I'd love to be mistaken here, as Medine, of course, is the DreamHack hero, the winner of DreamHack Winter featuring Fortnite. So we'll see if he can make it happen. If Medine can kind of throw himself into the mix within that top 2, maybe for a first place finish.
Before we jump into our break and get into game number 8, I do want to look at the drawing board one last time, just so that you guys can break it down as to where we're going to see all the action.
Yeah, no, that was an interesting game. I mean, it brought it all the way down to this western zone here. I mean, like we said and mentioned at the start, let's go ahead and bring this up. This western portion, we haven't quite seen too many of it happen over here. So kind of nice to see it all unfold. Sorry if the pen tool wasn't working. There we go. Be able to pull that one up. So it's all unfolding here. What happened on this side of the map is the fact that Benji was actually taken out in this section kind of early into the rotates. Pretty unfortunate for Tomsy to fall down onto him before Squeezier, MCES the Squeezier, comes in and wraps up things. Another important frag that happened in that game in this same exact area was the fact that Andretta found Rax and Chapix with some big snipers right outside of Rickety Rig. So again, drawing our attention away from the drawing board here. Now, it's just a matter of the zones playing a part. You see snipers really coming into play here. Rax getting dropped out of the top 20 now because of that. It's all because of the fact that the snipers coming into play. Andretta was heating up, and again, Benji really getting taken out early and slows down his momentum as well. Same as we saw with Sebi. So this last and final game is going to determine who can continue to really rope down and bring it all in and bring it all home. It's a close competition up towards the top.
Yeah, Fallout, any last comments that you want to make before we go into a break and get into the final game of the European Grand Finals?
Game 8, the final game. This is what we live for. This is what these players live for as well. Everything on the line in this last game to see who's going to perform the most. I'm just ready to get into the gameplay. I know everyone wants to watch it as well. Game 8 coming up next. I'm really excited, Kelly. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, me too. Monster, any predictions that you want to make or expectations you hope to see?
Oh no! Yesterday I was loaded with the caster curse, so I'm gonna have to lay off on this one. I would hate for this clip to come back and haunt me, so I'm gonna sit back. The competition's been phenomenal. Let's have a great grand finals.
Chat, let us know who you think is going to be walking away in first place with $16,000. Game number 8, the final game, is going to be happening right after this break.